morning. Good morning, Northwest Indiana. Welcome to WJOB Veterans Views on... we're at WJOB. I'm all right.
Yeah. We're here in the bunker.
Right? We're in the bunker today. So welcome to everybody. This is Donna Ostrander, and I have Robert Rockwell and Steve Bramer with me. And we want to welcome all our veterans, all our citizen soldiers, and everybody out there, whether you're on active duty or whatever you happen to be going through. We are here for you. And let's get some business out of the way right off the bat. Go ahead, Steve.
I like it. We want to thank these sponsors. They're the ones that keep the show going because none of us get paid here.
That's right.
We want to thank Calumet Breweries, 6535 Osborne Avenue in Hammond. You can reach them at 219-845-2242. Calumet Park and Funeral Chapel, always supporting our veterans. 2305 West 83rd Avenue in Maryville. Call 219-769-8803 for special veteran savings and complete burial packages. Call 219-736-5840 for the chapel. DAV Chapter 17, they meet the first Thursday at 7 p.m. VFW Post 802, 5820 Holman Avenue in Hammond. DAV Chapter 80, they meet the second Friday in Cedar Lake, American Legion Post 261, 13050 Washington Street in Cedar Lake. 219-386-2282. Laborers International Union, North America, 41, 500 Superior Street, Munster. You can reach them at 219-924-7922. Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 721. They meet the second Thursday at 7 p.m. VFW Post 802, 5820 Holman Avenue in Hammond. Family Dental Care. Veterans receive free exams, x-rays, cleanings, and 10% discount on all other services. 8 convenient Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana locations. Chicago's east and south sides. Calumet City, Crestwood, Oak Lawn, Evergreen Park, Munster, Griffith. You can reach them at 219-804-9329 to schedule your appointment in Munster or go to www.familydentalcare.com. Ron J. Presser Insurance Company for all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, health, business, and more. 219-844-0103. Kuziak Construction, 1235 Summer Street, Hammond, 219-923-3007. Heroes Helping Heroes, Northwest Indiana. www.heroeshelpingheroesin.com, or you could contact the founder, Rich Tokars, 219-670-2501. White Oak Home Care, 9800 Connecticut Drive in Crown Point, 219-999-5869, or www.whiteoakhomecare.com. Thank you very much
All right.
to all those people.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. A lot's going on in the country and with the military. So I think we should start off with what's going on in the Middle East. I know they're sending 2 MEWs over there with probably about 2,000 troops each.
What is that? MEW.
MEW is, well, we call it a MU. Our MU. It's a. I'm going to get the acronym wrong. It's a maritime. I can't even think of it now. My mind just went completely blank.
It's a marine thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
GTS it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to Google it
Yeah,
because now my mind is completely blank.
So I
hate when that happens.
I read an article yesterday that I thought was pretty interesting, and this is a little bit off skew to the typical mainstream news. So there was a spin on this article that geared the current war in Iran more towards how it affects China and how this is somewhat of it's like a backdoor attack on China's economy because how much Iran has to do with China's oil just as well as ours. And it's interesting that I read this article yesterday with this spin on how this individual thinks that the attacks in Iran and the consolidation of troops towards their weapons and everything has everything to do with the relationship of Iran with China than it does with Iran in the Middle East. And it's interesting because this morning Iran blocks 2 Chinese ships from the Hormuz, from the Strait of Hormuz in a rare move. Now, Iran has ordered their troops to only focus on vessels that are in support of Israel or the U.S. And so for them to turn 2 Chinese ships tells me that there might be relationship issues with Daddy, right? I
read that China's not going to sell them ship destroyer missiles they want.
Yeah, and they, I mean, in the past they've had this relationship, right, with China, Russia, Iran, and so that there's, I think, a huge impact on Chinese economic growth, Chinese military, that the mainstream media is not tapping into, which, in my opinion, could be the true agenda of it all. If we, and we had just mentioned ground troops, and I just read this article about the Pentagon trying to approve 10,000 more ground troops. In my opinion, and this is nothing official at all with my position, I would assume that it's to control the Strait of Hormuz, and really, we can have air superiority, but if they're hiding in the mountains or wherever shelter they have in the ground, right? You can't get them all from the air.
Yeah.
And if we take control of that, you know how much of an edge we have on the entire Asian continent? Really?
Yeah, you know what? It's
Russia?
funny. I think I was watching something similar to that, and they were talking about how now China has to rely on Russia, but Russia's output of oil is nowhere near what Iran was dishing out. And we already took out Venezuela.
Right, and China gets like 80% of their oil through the Strait.
Yeah, and it's like 20% of the entire world's oil is through the Strait.
Yeah.
Which is a huge amount,
Yeah.
right?
Huge.
Hence
Hence why we're paying $4.30 a gallon right now.
Well, not really, because none of our oil comes through there.
Yeah,
So why
that's
is
just a
why did ours
gouging
go so high?
It's a
strategy, in my
futures market
opinion.
thing.
Again, it's them. Like, you think about it this way, it's just been a couple weeks since the gas price was at like what, $2.50.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think about all the hundreds and thousands and millions of gallons they have underneath each gas station that they paid $2.50 for. Why jump at $2 in like 2 weeks?
Right.
You still got the same gas you paid $2.50 for.
Right.
So I don't understand.
That always gets me.
I don't understand the volatility there. There might be
Money.
a better expert out there, but yeah, that's what it is. It's them gouging us.
Yeah.
And they're getting more and more profitable.
I never really thought of it like that, but you're right. The gas that they have right now is they paid for a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's messed up because I was already kind of mad about that.
So a MU is something I should know because it's a Marine Expeditionary Unit.
Oh, that's right.
So they're basically expedited for rapid response. They're on
Okay.
the ship, and they're supposed to be ready to answer any crisis, whether it's a disaster, combat. They're part of what's called a MAGTIF, which is a Marine Air Ground Task Force.
Okay.
So it's about 2,000 troops normally, right around there, usually commanded by a colonel, right around there.
That's what a battalion's worth in the Army?
It sounds like a battalion. If it's a colonel command,
Yeah, yeah, it's about the size of a small battalion in the Marine
Yeah,
Corps.
small battalion. I think
Yeah.
Army battalions typically, 35 to 6,000, 3,500 to 6,000.
Yeah, so yeah, they're going. We got 2 of them over there right now, or on their way. So, and I know that the president just extended the no hitting none of their electrical utilities grids until next Friday now. So I don't know what that's all about.
Do you know
Supposedly
how-
they're negotiating, but we'll see.
You know what? I take that back. I was referring to like a brigade. I think 35,000 to or 3,500 to 6,000 is more like a brigade size.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A battalion is probably like, I don't know, 800 to 1,500 in a battalion, depending on like what it is.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because in a battalion, you got different companies.
Right. And each company's 100, 200 troops.
Did you see how the electrical is out there in the Middle East?
Oh, it's everywhere.
Did you see how? So electrical in the Middle East is not just one cable.
Okay.
What it is a big group of single cables
Oh,
that
really?
all go to like individual
Oh,
buildings.
the electrical's terrible.
It's crazy.
I burnt out so many fans and stuff, like plugging it into the wrong thing.
I've never seen anything like
But
that.
everywhere in Kuwait, there is power lines everywhere.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like
So they don't have like distribution lines like we do.
No.
it's
No.
Okay.
and it's all over the Middle East. Just huge power lines everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like oil and power lines.
I would
all
imagine
there
it's unreliable as well.
Yeah, whoever's got the air conditioning business out there is filthy rich, I tell you, because it's constant. Like, you get a sandstorm, boom, all your air conditioners are out.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a tough thing to keep up, but putting more troops out there with the Pentagon, this is just reported here a few minutes ago, the Pentagon reporting looking to send up 10,000 additional ground troops. We want some of the callers to call in and see what's your veterans' view on the Pentagon trying to send 10,000 ground troops, and the Department of War currently saying that this is not another Iraq and that this is a swift.
I don't see how, though.
I mean,
How is it not?
How can you not?
The reality is that once you send ground troops, then that's more time.
Yeah.
You're
you know?
stuck then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
you know
then-
how it is. You can't just send troops
No,
in,
you're
right? You
sending
got to
logistics.
send
You're sending
logistics
quartermaster,
support.
right?
You're right.
Like, you're sending Marines in first, right?
Right.
It's more than just send them in, take out the bad guys. Like, you have to have a way to sustain that, which means you need supply, which means you need to have so many different levels of logistics, whether it be mobility, ammunition feed, class 1, all the classes of supply, medical supply. There's so many aspects to that, and eventually you're going to have to stabilize like a honeycomb sort of fighting environment, right, where you have your different levels of protection.
Right.
And all that planning, all of that's high level stuff. That's CENTCOM, right? So Central Command oversees ARCENT Command, and CENTCOM is all military branches. So it's not just like ARCENT would be like Army Central Command, right? You've got NAVCENT, you've got your Air Force Command, you've got all of them in there working together in CENTCOM. And mind you, I hear nothing but great things about them just whooping some butt. There was an instance here that I just screenshotted that I thought was kind of interesting, but it's a war tactic that has worked before, and they just did this. So Iran fell for the same trick as Hezbollah Nasrallah. The U.S. made an offer that required the Iranian side to discuss details. Mm-hmm. Okay. Iran held the meeting to discuss the offer to develop a negotiation. And we smoked them. The U.S. struck the meeting, killing many officials, including Khamenei. Khamenei, I guess, was the new
He was his son.
Right.
Yeah.
And the president was on just yesterday saying, like, hey, you know what? They put new people in, we take them out.
Yeah.
We're getting to the third level now. Like, you want to put somebody else in there, we're just going to take them out. And they're very bold when they talk on, especially the old head of the Department of War.
Yeah.
What's his name? Pete?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why Iran is denying that they're negotiating with us at all.
Right.
Because they don't want us to kill them.
Yeah. Well.
And that could, and that's what we're doing.
And then the thing he said yesterday, or was it this morning? It was within the last 24 hours. He said that they gave us a gift by allowing, 8 oil riggers through the Strait. He's like, in my mind, like, it's not a gift.
No,
they're doing that because we're lighting them up. Like, hey, we'll let you if you let us reset a little bit, we'll let you get these ships through.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I guess 8 riggers or whatever tankers they have, these huge ships that
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
There's like thousands of them stuck in the Strait
It's
and can't
crazy,
get out.
yeah. So just a couple, like a handful or 2 handfuls.
Well, now
Okay.
Iran is charging people to get through there, which they never did before.
So why
they
are
need the
they
funds.
stuck there? Why can't they just keep going?
It's like a big bay, right?
It's not very big. I mean, it looks on the map anyway. I mean,
It's
no
like
maps
a 2
aren't
mile
accurate.
straight. It's only like 2 miles wide.
But yeah.
So they can pop shot just about anything that gets through there.
And plus they got it
So
mined.
so they're all stuck on one side because
Yeah.
if they go through, they get shot at.
And like north of it,
Oh,
where
okay.
they fill these, it's like a lot of it comes from like Pakistan.
What,
So,
the shots?
like the oil.
Oh, the
Oh,
oil?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know Pakistan had oil. Oh.
And then
interesting.
they got it mined as well. So they got to lead you through there so you don't hit any of the mines.
Yeah. Oh.
And then I saw a thing the other day where somebody said, what we should do is unload the the tankers in Saudi Arabia and truck it across
Oh, yeah.
and then reload a ship. I'm like, oh my God, the logistics in that would be a nightmare.
Well, then you have the Houthis down in Yemen trying to pop shop stuff off the other shore. So, like, either side of it is somewhat sabotaged. Now, the Houthis have the mountains to hide in. The Strait of Hormuz is not very mountainous because it's by the ocean shore. So I think the strategy is to clear up the Strait of Hormuz, which is what we need ground troops for. And
well, they're going to go in, they're going to set up a perimeter, and then the people won't be able to shoot that close
and
to
then
the shore.
we're supposed to take that little island where they do all of their oil processing there.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the name of it right off the top of my head, but yeah, we're supposed to. I know they want to take. They bombed some of it the other day.
I cannot believe we're doing this much without Congress approving it.
I can't either. But you know what? It's not the first time.
It's not.
Nor
the first
will it be the
time.
last.
That's true.
You know,
I
Obama
agree
bombed
with
a lot of countries in the Middle East without asking
he did.
anybody.
Yeah.
So
they all did. They've all done it. None of them wanted to give up that war power.
No,
the war powers.
No. And the War Powers Act, I don't agree with it. I believe in our Constitution, and we haven't declared war since World War II. You know, Korea and Vietnam. Vietnam, when I was a kid, it was called a police action. Mm-hmm. I'm like, a police action? They're not arresting anybody.
What a joke,
right?
Isn't it? Oh my God,
Yeah.
what a joke.
So, you know, and then it was a war run by the politicians in D.C., by McNamara and all those guys. And you know, you hear stories. You talk to any Vietnam vet out there who was actually on the ground, and they'll tell you, you know, they would take this hill. And you know, they would lose a lot of men taking this hill, and then they'd be told to get off the hill, and then a couple weeks later, they're taking that same darn hill again. It was ridiculous the way they were doing that. It was set up to fail.
Yeah.
You know, and then you had you had the false flags over there, which got us involved even more. So they didn't listen to the generals. You know, the generals are telling them we can win this if you let us do this, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that. So, you know, it was a cluster. It was a cluster, and we've had a cluster in the Middle East for 20 years. 20 years. I mean, and now that the Army has just raised their minimum age to 42, you can have parents joining the Army with their kids.
That's a really good point. 42, man. Steve, you're 43, ain't it?
I'm 45.
45.
I'm 45.
Oh, the years go by here.
Wait, so what got raised to 42?
The minimum age that you can join the Army.
Really?
Yeah.
I joined at 22, and there was a 38-year-old, and
really?
we thought he was a grandpa. We're like, this guy is old. He was like so old.
I wish I was 38.
Basic
Man, I wish I was
Like,
38.
I couldn't imagine. I'm 39 now. Like, I could probably do it. I could definitely do it, actually.
You'd be amazed
But
what a couple years is going to do.
42, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be like,
Yeah.
I'm going to start getting old pretty quick here.
You can have parents going to boot camp with their kids.
That would be so awesome.
It's a great benefit.
No, I would join the military to get away from my parents.
It gives people a second chance because at 42, you think you can put in 20 years and still retire at 62.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think it's...
Drill sergeant's going to be yelling at your kid. You're going to run up behind him.
Hey,
what are you doing?
You're likely not going to put a bunch of 42s in the infantry as privates.
No.
Like, I would assume that these are going to be somewhat sustainment type.
And at 42, you're kind of set in your ways of how you like to do things.
Yeah.
And to have somebody standing in front of you yelling in your face.
Ugh.
Is this prior service?
No.
At 42?
No.
I cannot imagine joining the military at 42. Oh, my God.
Me either. It's going to be interesting.
So that what we were referring to was the War Powers Resolution Act of 1973, also known as the War Powers Act, which limits the U.S. president's ability to initiate or escalate military actions abroad. Now, the president...
It's for 90 days.
Yeah, the president...
He has 90 days to go to Congress, right?
Well, he has 48 hours to let them know.
Yeah.
But he can pretty much deploy... but it takes Congress to fully declare war.
Well, absolutely.
Which is why I think, to your point, war hasn't been truly declared in some time.
Yeah, since World War II.
So that's something that I think has been a debate for decades, honestly. Mm-hmm. The power of the president to initiate such large-scale combat operations.
Yeah.
You know, and without really truly the approval of Congress. And when you get into large-scale combat operations, you're talking like that's war-level stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and should the president have that sort of power? We want the caller's view on this. We want your veteran's view or your citizen soldier's view
Give us a
as
call
to
at
what's going on here.
219
845
1100
219
845
1100.
Well, I saw a video yesterday of Pocahontas interrogating a Marine in Congress, and she was asking him if he would report to Congress if he had an illegal order, right? And he said, and this is basically a quote. He says, "I will go through my chain of command." And she says, "So you're not going to tell us?" And he said, "I will go through my chain of command." And this was I can't remember if it was a 3-star or a 4-star.
Good for him for not falling for
and
that.
He said that 3 times, and she said, "Well, that's concerning that you won't report to us. I will go to my chain of command." This woman has no idea how the military works.
Pocahontas?
Yeah,
Like the Indian?
you know who I'm talking about. What's
Is
her name?
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
Oh, no, yeah. I don't follow that close.
but anyway, that's my nickname for her.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. That's all. I have
You
no
do.
idea who you're talking about.
But anyway, so Congress, unless they've served, they have no idea how the military works. And he has to go to his chain of command. Now, granted, being a general, there's only a few people above him. You know, one being the commandant of the Marine Corps. It's the commandant of the Marine Corps, from the Marine Corps standpoint, it's his job to report to Congress, not a general or a colonel or a sergeant. It's not their job.
No. Yeah.
We
and
have a chain of
you
command
have to
for a
stay-
reason.
You have to stay non-political, especially when you're on the media or you have a voice in any way or you're getting interviewed. You get some serious stuff if you put opinions out there or release information on operations or
You got
It's,
Operation
Security.
ComSec.
Listen,
Opposite.
the reason why this country
OPSEC.
supports the military and the reason why when people look at the American flag and think U.S. troops is because we've been, well, to this point throughout history, very non-political. And we follow orders.
Yeah.
And sometimes the public can disagree with those orders, but you don't blame the troops.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Right.
not their fault. And we all understand that wasn't the case in Vietnam.
Not always,
Right.
not with Miley.
And people would come home and be like detrimented. And,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
a sad part of our history as a country. But since then, I think the military has done a very good job publicly to separate themselves from.
Yeah. And we all know what to do. We're all trained on what to do if you think an order is illegal.
Yeah. And
You know?
troops these days are in tough positions
Yeah.
because they have Facebook.
Yeah.
Right? They have their social media accounts. And when you go out there and you're in a position of leadership and you put your political views out there, yet you have that you're a sergeant in the Army or you have that, like, you'll get in some serious scruff for that.
Yeah.
You're going against what you sworn to protect, which is the President of the United States. Governor,
Right.
For me, the President of the United States and the Governor of Indiana. I might not agree with their views in any aspect
Right.
of the manner, but I truly have the integrity that I don't care what president's in office. If it's my duty, it's my duty. If I have to, people think I'm stupid, but if I have to jump in front of a bullet to protect our president, I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican.
Yeah.
I'll do
Yeah.
it. That's my job, right?
Right.
My political view doesn't go into my job whatsoever.
I think part of the problem is people conflate what an legal order is.
Yeah.
You know, like an illegal order to me is when my lieutenant tells me to shoot a prisoner. That's an
Right.
illegal order.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Right.
you get activated to go pull security in Washington, D.C., for example, right? It's not an unlawful order.
No.
Like, I'm sorry.
No.
And,
You don't.
and the military in general is so decentralized from the main commander's intent, which would be the president, because at every level and every echelon, coming all the way down from CENTCOM to ARSENT to the different military branches to divisions to battalions, down
Right.
to the company level, down to the troops, to the platoon, to the squad.
That order has been overlooked by so many people before it ever gets to the troop on the ground.
Yeah, and the troop on the ground goes by his company commander's intent, or his battalion commander's intent, or his brigade commander's intent. right?
Right.
The brigade commander's intent might be, hey, we need to take that bridge, consolidate our troops, set up air defense, and set up sustainment.
Yeah.
That troop, how is that an unlawful order if the troop is looking at, oh, this is the reason we're doing this is because we need to attack Iran, and I don't agree with that. Well, you're not following orders.
Right.
Your order is to sustain that hill. Your order is to take that bridge.
And if
your order is to not say, I don't believe in what we're doing.
Right.
Like,
and here's my point with that. Nobody's drafted. You know, we all join up willingly. And if you think that you're going to agree with every decision made by the higher ups, then you need to just stay out of my Marine Corps, stay out of the Army, because you're not what we want.
Right.
You know, and did I agree with everything I had to do in the military? No. But was it illegal? No. I just didn't like it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we've all had those kind of orders where we're like, I don't want to do that. That's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Why are we doing
I
this?
disagreed one time with a platoon sergeant, and I got so upset because I knew what he was telling me was like complete malarkey.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what he was doing, flat out. Now it was a PFC, I think. I took my Kevlar and I threw it on the ground. Ooh. And I totally, I was out of position in parade rest and all that. I was just like, this is ridiculous. And I got sent to the commander's office. They wanted my rank, man. They wanted me on a pedestal. My commander was like, listen, Private Rockwell. He's like, I know you're a good troop and you let your emotions get a little bit too involved, but that's a low level order. Yeah. You know, and I got hemmed up pretty good for it, you know. So you learn pretty quick in the military.
Individualism does not work in the military.
Right. No.
You can't have it. It doesn't work in the military.
No. Yeah. Not at all.
When I was in basic training, I got in trouble and I had to turn the rocks over so that the other side could get some sun. I was so mad. I was like, you kidding me? You're going to make me do this all day? And you did. All day I had to do that.
When we would field day the barracks, I remember at Camp Lejeune, we didn't have grass because I don't know why, but we had this dirt. And for field day, for barracks inspection on Friday morning, we had to rake the dirt into even rows, so the dirt looked, symmetrical. Mm-hmm. You couldn't have it flying around or anything like that. And you had to rake the dirt.
Heaven forbid it's in a zigzag.
Yeah, no, God, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's
there's all kinds of crazy things you do.
That's just, hey, you follow. That's training you to follow orders.
Exactly.
Regardless of the order.
Because and I had a gunny who was a Vietnam vet. I'll tell you what. I told him before, if we ever go to combat while we're together, I'm following you and I'm doing exactly what you tell me.
Right.
And he said it. He said because the reason we do this stuff is not just to mess with you. It's so that if when we're up against it and we're getting shot at, if I tell you to put your butt down, you put your butt down.
Yeah.
Or if I tell you to do this, you do this because I'm trying to save your life.
Yeah.
And that's the crust of it right there, I think.
Yeah. Well, so back to the war in the Middle East with Israel now vowing to escalate strikes on Iran as Trump pauses the attacks on the energy sites. And you know that Trump punted on the energy strike threat supposedly for another 10 days. But what happened last time Trump gave him a timeline and said, we're going to pause for this amount of time?
They bombed.
Like 3 days later.
Yeah.
He gave him 10 days, and then 3 days later they went in.
Well, from what I've read, we've pretty much decimated their ability to make more missiles.
Yeah.
But who knows how many they have.
The problem with them taking out energy sites is really now you're messing with the civilian population.
Right.
And we, again, are trying, in my opinion, based off of what I've read and what I've seen, we're trying to avoid this being another Iraq, right? And taking out energy sites in the Middle East not only it just affects the government, right, greatly, but now you're having a huge quality of life impact on civilians, which in the meantime, currently, in our view, is supporting us taking out their regime, right?
Right.
But what happens when their civilian populations goes without energy, goes without air conditioning, goes without electricity or running water because we've knocked their energy sites out, and they start to think, hey, you know what? Things were okay a little.
At least we had food and electricity.
Yeah, before the Americans came in here.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. At some point,
it's
the
going to get to that.
sentiment is going to turn against us.
Yeah.
Over there.
Once we start crossing boundaries like that, right? In my opinion, that's a huge boundary.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's probably why we're so hesitant to do it.
Does it
Yeah.
does it not seem like there was no plan on what to do afterwards?
Well, they never have a plan on what to do afterwards.
That's how it kind of
Never.
feels. I know
didn't
they
have
never
one,
do.
They didn't have one in Iraq either.
Never. Like it
Or
makes no
Afghanistan,
sense.
they
How would
didn't.
you not see? I don't know. I can't. I don't agree with it because of the way everything went with Iraq and Afghanistan. Like I don't agree with putting boots on the ground in Iran because I feel like we're going to be stuck once we do
The
that.
pause for us to not attack their energy sites are expiring this upcoming Friday, not today, but this
Next Friday.
week. Yeah. So
Do you think they're trying to put pressure on the civilians to revolt?
How are they going to
yeah,
revolt?
of
They don't have any
course.
weapons.
But they've said it publicly. Both Israel and the president have said this is the time for a civil war.
Yeah.
This is the time for you to rise up and take back what's
The
yours.
problem is they don't have any weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, which
You
is
know, which is problematic. I mean, somebody from the CIA needs to drop some weapons to them.
Yeah.
You know,
arm them.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I read? Who is trying to invade is the Kurds.
the Kurds are trying to come up from the south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which might be a good thing.
Yeah.
I
They
like
got
the
weapons.
Yeah, I like the Kurds. When I was in Iraq and we drove up through northern Iraq, we had to go through the Kurdish area. And they called it Kurdistan.
Yeah.
And man, you go, it all looked regular until you got there, and there was this huge berm, maybe like 2 stories tall,
Wow.
2 or 3 stories tall. They had their own flag, their own security. I mean, it was just, they're a lot more organized than everybody else out there.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Maybe we need them to go into Iran, and now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
You know, with their military split up, their heads of the big wigs are all, they don't know what to do.
It's either that or somebody else like ISIS is going to come in.
Yeah,
and take it.
we sure don't want that.
Yeah, and things are getting ugly. Things are getting ugly out there. I'm reading an article about the U.S. military accidentally striking an Iranian elementary school.
Well, that was like on the first day.
Yeah, this is just reported an hour ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Another
Yeah.
one?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
168 children, 14 teachers
Oh,
killed.
dang.
Wow.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's coming from old intelligence.
Yeah,
Maybe that
well,
was maybe
I
it wasn't
do-
always a school. I
I
don't
know
know.
what you're
be.
talking about
Could be.
when
Yeah.
it first happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
tragic.
It is. It's and then this
Gosh.
is what changes the public view.
Yeah,
This is-
absolutely.
This is the type of stuff that will change the Iran citizens from exactly what we just said. They
Yeah.
will be in support of us getting rid of the evil regime until we start becoming a problem.
Yeah.
And when you take out accidentally schools and things
Yeah.
like that, so no confirmation whether that's Israel or U.S. strike, but
Nobody likes an occupation force.
No.
right.
No, I wouldn't like it if it was here,
Oh, no way. Yeah.
But
I mean, the way that we conduct ourselves out there, we do it militarily
Right.
to protect us. Strategically, we move everything. But like part of that is, it will affect the civilians.
yeah, absolutely.
And
How can
they're
it
not
not?
gonna like it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, have you guys been reading about what's going on in Cuba?
Cuba?
Cuba has no power.
Really?
No power whatsoever.
I haven't read about it at all.
There was a group that went over there, a group of activists who went over there.
activist, yeah.
Yeah, and they stayed in a hotel, and the power that they did have got diverted from the people to the hotel, to the 5-star hotel for them.
Oh,
And all they did was paint a mural and say, "Hey, we feel you. See ya." You know.
you got to power the 5-star hotel.
Well, exactly.
Oh,
That's probably
my
where I would be
God.
staying. That's terrible, though.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
terrible what
Yeah.
Cuba is going through, but I mean, they have a dictator as well.
Yeah.
And they get their oil and their power from they got it from Russia and from Venezuela
And China.
and China.
And they took, what was it? Man, it was just 6 months ago we were talking about it on this radio show. Right when I got back, it was some significant number. And I want to say like a couple trillion dollars of infrastructure money from China. And China is like now got them under their thumb forever,
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah.
Basically just bought the country.
Who?
China.
China.
Cuba.
Cuba.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And now
about
they can't
that.
give them anything because they have nothing. They don't have any oil to give to Cuba.
Wow. I didn't know about any of that.
Yeah. Cuba is just one of those logistic hubs that everybody wants because you could take pop shots at America.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been a disaster zone down there.
Yeah.
Well, they've been trying to get a foothold somewhere in South America for a while now.
Oh, China's in
It's
South America.
It's surprising
Yeah,
to
they
me
are.
that we never just, like, fixed that problem.
Yeah.
You know, because it's so close.
Yeah. Well, we had a chance in 1960 with the Bay of Pigs, but Kennedy refused to send air support, which, you know, I've read a lot about that, and I kind of understand where he's coming from because we weren't going to be successful. You know, we trained these soldiers in South America. The CIA did. It was a big CIA operation. You know, and they didn't do it. They didn't go about it the right way. But and then when from one of the things I read said that we had a chance to support Cuba before Fidel got in there, or when Fidel got in there, but he just decided to go with Russia because he didn't like what we were saying. So I don't know how true that is. I know we really ticked off the mob when Fidel kicked out all the mobsters in the casinos. And they blame Kennedy for that. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, you know, it's there's so much about history. I'm reading a book right now about FDR, and my highlighter is just going crazy because I'm reading about a lot of the same stuff that we're doing today. You know, it's amazing how what we're doing today is no different than what we did 50 years ago. You know, there's voter fraud, there's paying off people, there's not getting along with Congress, fighting with Congress. You know, the FDR used the power of the IRS to go after his enemies. Where have I heard that before? You know, so this is nothing new.
Yeah.
We're not reinventing the wheel here. We're doing the same old stuff. And it's amazing when you really look at history, and we're doing the same stuff all over again. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's a shame that we're at that point. You know, and you know, our politicians don't care about anything but getting reelected. You know, and we sit here and as Americans, being
politician is like a business now.
Yeah, we complain and moan about our politicians, but yet they keep getting reelected. Come on, people, wake up. Stop voting for the same ones. You know, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
There is a lot of mental illness out there.
Yeah.
Tough situation.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how once you become a politician, you're sometimes you just change.
Yeah.
You know, like you come in, maybe your first 4 or 5 years is truly for the people. You're going to make a difference, right? And then maybe the next 4 years, all of a sudden, what you ran on, you know, draining the swamp. You ran on fixing the system, and now all of a sudden you're a politician.
And now you can't get a committee assignment because you're not supporting the party.
Yeah.
See, and George Washington's warned us about that in his farewell address. Beware of political parties, and now we have a two-party system, and the two-party system is really good at making sure nobody else comes in.
Yeah.
They don't want another party. They don't. You know, it used to be back in the day, we had 4 or 5 parties. You know, and the Republican Party wasn't a major party until Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
You know, it wasn't. So it was considered a third party.
Oh yeah, there was a party called the Whigs.
Yeah, the Whigs. Yeah, they had the Whigs and the Democrats, and then here come these Republicans, and nobody really they didn't take them seriously. You know, they kind of take them like the Libertarians. You know, they don't. They don't take
Libertarians get a bad rap, man. Poor people.
Yeah,
I think most people are libertarians too.
You know, I most people, and Rocky and I have had this discussion before. I would say most Americans are in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not most. You got the fringe on the left, you got the fringe on the right, but most of us, I think, are more towards the middle.
Moderate. That's what I like to describe myself as, moderate. And then you've got the loyalists. What did you say the other day, Steve? The blind leadership or following.
Blindly following.
Blindly following.
They vote blue no matter who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, that's not good.
Not good.
That's not good.
No.
And I'm not saying one way or the other is better,
right.
But I am very in the middle. And if I like one, I'll judge a person by their character. and their history and their policy.
Yeah.
And if I think they're trying to give the house away, I'm not in support of that. If I feel like they're trying to restrict freedom, I'm not in support of that. So I'm just trying to find what's the best person to vote for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the problem is so many people don't research candidates at all. They just, this guy has the right initial behind his name, so I'm going to vote for that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,
and that's a problem with the straight ballot, too. You know, I've went in there at times and been like, oh, I want to vote for this person and that person on two separate.
In the primary.
They won't let me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got to vote straight. And it's like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know,
I don't know why it is that way. Maybe somebody could call in and tell us why is it that way.
A few years ago, the Libertarian Party almost got it out of committee and tried to get it to a vote to where we would end straight party voting in the primary. Because it's the thing that gets me is it's a partisan primary, but yet the taxpayers pay for it. If you want to have a partisan primary, then your party should pay for it.
Oh,
you know, that's my opinion. You know, and
yeah, that makes sense.
So, but they'll never get rid of it. I mean, I think there's 6 states left now that have closed primaries like that. You have to declare your party in the primary, and traditionally, if you look at the stats, those states have the lowest voter turnout. And until they change that, you'll never have but 2 parties in the state. Well, one party predominantly. You know.
Well. You got to recognize when good is being done.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And my town, there's a lot of good that's being done in this county, in this North Township. There's a lot of good being done, and those are completely different parties. You know, and so I support good people.
Yeah,
and I just truly do not care if there's an R or D.
I don't either.
There's probably people listening to this like disgusted with that comment.
Yeah,
because they're so stuck on one way or the other.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm military. I'm not political at all.
Right.
I follow orders.
Yeah.
And then I believe in integrity, and that's just the way it is. I don't want to put my views out.
You know,
there
and integrity for me is
listeners here. No one wants to listen to Rocky no more.
But I think integrity is just like you said. It's my integrity is very important to me, and I'm not going to sell out. I'm not going to sell out my integrity, and don't insult my integrity either. Because if I tell you something, I believe it. And I'm going to do it, you know. And I've had people insult my integrity before, and it was not fun.
What it comes down to is your ability to have a good cross the aisle conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of this on TV is kind of a smoke show, and that once the doors are closed and the cameras are off, I think these individuals don't hate each other as much as they you know.
I've been saying that for years. That they're all in it together.
Yeah.
They're all, after they're done arguing on the Congress floor, they go back, drink their little whiskeys, and laugh at us.
Go to their offices and say, hey, that was a good show.
Yeah, right.
You know, the DAV, some DAV chapters have it where you can only be commander for like two years or 3 years. Because if you go past that, you can start treating it like it's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's what a lot of these public officials do. They stay in there too long, and then they treat it like it's theirs.
Yep.
Like that's their money. That's their, you know, property or whatever.
I'm going to do with whatever I want in my district because they keep voting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know.
Well,
I
maybe
think
some of those 42-year-old congressmen can join men
Join
and
the
women
army?
can join the military, join the army.
I'd like to see
But
one.
Steve sent us a video about a new Army combat test.
Yeah.
So it has to do with like carrying sandbags and water jugs and push-ups and a mile run to start and a mile run at the end.
You got to pick up like it's like 20 sandbags and put them up like 3 feet in the air.
Those are combat MOSs. There was a list of combat MOSs that were involved in that new change.
Yeah.
Now, see, in the Marine Corps, everybody's a basic rifleman. So we have our physical fitness test, which is all we had when I was on active duty. But now they have the combat readiness test, which is, I watched my nephew do it. Holy smokes, man.
Yeah.
You got to do a dead man carry. You have to carry these weighted ammo cans. You have to do so many sit-ups, and so many pull-ups. And it's all, every Marine has to do that, regardless of MOS, because those scores go towards your promotion score.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So they
so-
give you motivation to
Oh,
get
heck
after
yeah.
it.
Yeah. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be.
No,
You know?
absolutely not. And I do agree that specific MOSs in the Army, I don't expect some cyber G2 nerd to to go in there that's lived his life on a computer working satellites to be able to throw me over his shoulder in a combat field. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, the dude's never going to be in that position, or the woman's never going to be in that position. So
At least you hope not.
yeah, but the Army is much bigger than a Marine.
Yeah.
Than the Marines, and the Army's got so many different facets of quartermaster logistics. Like, it's way more than just, hey, you're a Marine, you're a Marine.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Marine has different elements in it as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I think the culture of the Marines is essentially that you're a Special Forces Navy. Am I right?
Pretty much, yeah.
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 That's the culture.
We don't like to
right?
claim the Navy, but
Right.
we're a
you
department
are.
of the Navy.
Yeah.
So.
And that's kind of what I was always told, was that the Marines are considered a Special Forces part of the Navy. And I might be way off.
Yeah, we're our own branch. We
Yeah.
don't. We don't like to say that we're a part of the Navy, but we
Yeah,
are.
it's kind of like the Air Force and the Army.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
but the Air Force aren't Special Forces.
no.
There
But the
is
Air Force does have
They do
special
have
forces.
Special Forces. Can't take that away from, because those
Guys are bad.
bad dudes.
Bad dudes, yeah.
and women. Yeah.
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 You know
Those
what?
are those paratroopers? No, not paratroopers.
No, not paratroopers. I forget what they're called in the Air Force, but they are some bad mammer jammers.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, and I didn't even realize the Air Force had special forces. And
Well, yeah, right. Each branch has one, I guess.
yeah. So, and speaking of that, I read an article a couple weeks ago about this guy who obviously never served a day in the military, but he was talking about how the Marine Corps needs to be disbanded and it's irrelevant. And I heard that in the 80s when I was on active duty, and it's funny because they talk about, and then I think about who's getting sent to the Middle East right now, and but they're every once in a while some reporter somewhere will come out and say, oh, because the Marine Corps just duplicates everything else all the other services do. But no, we don't. We just do it better.
Yeah.
Air Force Special Operations Command, AFSOC.
Okay.
And then you've got AFSPEC War, often referred to as Special Tactics or Battlefield Airmen. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was another name for them.
Special
A
Forces.
cooler name.
Combat
cooler name.
Control, Pararescue, Special Reconnaissance,
And,
Tactical Air Control.
And now we have the Space Force. I have no idea what they do. Does anybody? I mean,
I seen one Space Force when I was in the Middle East, and she
Really?
was wearing her flag the other way. And I was like,
wait,
asking
with it towards the front?
the flag was facing towards the front.
Oh no, it's supposed to be the other way.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. And they're like, so I was asking one of my buddies, I was like, hey, before I check this, what they're called, Guardian. I was like, before I check this Guardian for being out of
That's
uniform.
what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, before I check this Guardian for being out of uniform, is it supposed to be that way? Because
Yeah.
I have no idea. And they're like, yeah. So
Wow.
it's supposed to be like they're looking at from space.
Oh, stop.
I know.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I
How
was
are you supposed to know that?
I was tripped out, man. I
That's
was like,
weird.
it looks weird.
I
So.
bet it does. After we're seeing it one way
Yeah.
for your
Yeah.
whole life.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a futuristic aspect of the military. It's I think it's still so much at its infancy. People don't see the true value of what.
I mean,
do,
it's definitely important with all
we
the
got all satellites
Yeah.
and
Just
missile
satellites
systems.
alone.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, you
it's
think
so
of,
important.
it's like the wild, wild west in space. No one owns it yet.
Yeah.
right? And so,
I don't know what the number is, but it's like a crazy number of how many different individual satellites are
Yeah.
up there right now.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
like thousands.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
well, SpaceX has really got a lot of control over outer space and what's going on, and they're about to IPO here in the next couple of weeks.
Are they really?
Oh, are they?
That's what I've
Ooh.
been reading. So
So now's the time to buy, huh? Buy,
I'm not.
buy.
No, that's not a recommendation to anybody. I'm not. That's just what I was reading from Google. So
Well, I
that's
read
not an educated guess or anything.
so much of our technology has come from the military.
Yeah.
Like GPS. Now, I was reading an article that was talking about GPS and how it was never designed to be released to the civilian world, ever.
Huh.
It was supposed to stay military until in the 1980s when a Malaysian flight was accidentally shot down, killed everybody on board. And Reagan was like, oh no, we got to release this. And that's how we got GPS for everybody.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems like everything starts from the military, right? We've talked about that before. Internet. And
219
845
Oh.
1100 1100.
I can
Yeah.
do it in Spanish if you want.
Can you?
do it.
219-844-1100.
Ah, all right.
Ah, you didn't think I could?
Very good.
Ooh, I had to
Alright.
tap into my memory there. I haven't spoke that in a while. We got tongue-tied.
Good stuff.
So I was reading this thing, and a lot of people have been exposed to this. This is why I want to bring it up. It says, guidance needed for doctors treating DOD VA patients exposed to jet fuel in Hawaii water.
Oh, yeah.
And I was reading that it's the JP5 fuel.
Yeah.
So we've all been
We've
around
exposed to
Yeah,
that.
we've all
JP5?
been around it.
And it was in the water in Hawaii.
So apparently there were 2 accidental releases of it in Hawaii into the water. And after one of the times, they actually told the people that it was okay to take a bath and drink the
Kind of
water.
like they did to us in Camp Lejeune, but we were that exposure was a laundry list of chemicals.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
So they did. So they let them drink it, and
Yeah.
then you had nothing but, let's see, severe rashes, diarrhea, gastrointestinal problems, respiratory problems, and so now what they're saying is that there is no clear guidance on how to even address
Well, it was the same.
this when the people come in for treatment.
Right. It's the same thing with the contaminated water in Camp Lejeune. Is it affected not only people on active duty, it affected the civilians on the base. It affected, and these chemicals like the JP5, I would imagine, go when you have children.
Yeah.
And their children, so it's not something you can just here's $10,000, you're good, go away.
Yeah.
You got people dying of all these diseases, and they don't want to do anything about it. Just like Agent Orange, they're really good about exposing us to all this stuff, but they don't want to say, because we didn't take the time to do the research to see what this stuff was, But it's the Marines, it's the Army, who cares? So they have no problem exposing us to all this stuff, but they don't want to take responsibility for it.
Afterwards.
Pay for it
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a list here of Tier 1 specialized mission units, all different branches of the military. Number 1, Delta Force. Okay, Army compartmented elements, Army counterterrorism units focusing on direct action, hostage rescue, special reconnaissance. Then you got Navy Special Warfare Development, SEAL Team 6. Right?
Hoorah.
So everybody can debate these in the what real true order, but this is just how it's listed. Delta Force, SEAL Team 6. Then you have a 24 Special Tactics Squadron. Then you have what's called the ISA, Intelligence Support Activity. Then you have Navy SEALs. Then you have Army Special Force Green Berets. Then you have Marine Special Operations Command, Marine Raiders, they're called.
Yeah, those are some bad mammer jammers too, because you cannot enlist and get a Raider MOS.
Wow.
You cannot enlist for that. You have to be selected.
Air Force Special Operations Pararescue Combat Controllers.
Pararescue.
Yeah.
That's
That's what
it.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of.
Yeah.
So then you have
Okay.
SOAR, which are considered Night Stalkers, Specialized Helicopter Aviation Units, Special Forces. So
Oh, those are the pilots for the Special Forces guys.
Yeah, yeah,
ain't it?
yeah.
interesting to me, the top 2, Delta Force and SEAL Team 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
so wait, I got a question. So is Delta Force and Green Berets 2 different things?
Yes.
I thought they were both
But I
like
think
the
you have
same
to be
thing.
a Green Beret first before you can go Delta. So Green Beret, Delta is like the elite Green Beret, and you have to go to a different level of training.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen what they go through, like for SEAL team training?
Oh yeah, they're like basically drowning them.
Oh, I know.
I couldn't. No.
I couldn't
No,
do it.
Not me.
No,
you got to
even-
be a special person. For
Yeah,
that.
even when I was 18, 19 years old, I don't know that I could do it.
There
So
was
I mean,
one-
isn't that water cold that they're in?
Yes.
you know they
it's
didn't
the
even
ocean.
mention, they didn't even mention like Army Rangers, like Ranger training. That's insane.
Yeah.
It just and that's just the level of special force. I had one dude, and even like you got the Soldier's Creed, and I'm sure you have a different creed in the Marines, but the Soldier's Creed is hard to memorize because it's like 4 paragraphs long. The Ranger's Creed, there was a dude in basic training that was going to the Rangers after basic training, and his creed was like 2 pages long.
Wow.
Just to memorize that is too hard for me. Forget about the training. That's like mental capacity. So,
Oh,
Took me
you're
forever
funny.
just to learn the military alphabet.
oh yeah.
Oh my God.
And I still skip on it sometimes.
Now,
I'm
you
like,
guys don't have do you guys have general orders in the Army?
Yeah.
Okay, because we had to memorize all
Never
our general
leave a fallen
orders.
comrade.
Never leave your post until
Properly
Relieved. Yeah.
And
Well, we had 10 of them.
3 of them. I think.
Or
general
actually 12 of them.
12.
Yeah, 12 they had to
I don't
memorize.
remember that. Okay, see now I got.
Well, see, ours are different. So, to walk my post in a military manner.
orders. Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To take charge of this post and all government property within view.
Oh yeah, so there's 3 for the Army. I
Okay.
will guard everything within the limits of my post and quit my post only when properly relieved.
That's one of ours.
I
Well,
will-
that's one of ours. That's number 5, I believe.
I will obey my special orders and perform all my duties in a military manner. And then I will report violations of my special orders, emergencies, and anything not covered in my instructions to the commander of the relief.
Well, here's a funny story with that. I got pulled over for speeding. Go figure. And because I have a lead foot, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, and the guy that pulled me over was a Marine Corps vet, and he saw my Marine Corps sticker. And he says, "Is this you?" I was like, "Yeah." He says, "I'll let you go if you can tell me your first general order." And I was like, "Oh my God, really?" And I'm thinking, okay, is it to take or to walk? To take or to walk? I think it's to walk. To walk my post in the military, And I told him, and he's like, "Okay, you can go."
For you.
And I'm like, "Oh, I need to brush up on those."
Right? I might have to look at it.
Because and then I said, "Well, do you know what your 13th is?" He's like, "We only had 12. I said, "No, 13 is to walk my post from flank to flank and take no stuff from any rank." He's like, "Okay, that's funny." But anyway, so we only got a few minutes left. So, Rocky, you got any final parting thoughts?
No, I just appreciate being on every week. And for all of our listeners and contributors and citizen soldiers out there, have a great week. Have a safe weekend. Whether you're traveling down to Indianapolis for a lot of the American Legion stuff going on this weekend, or if you're just having some family fun, we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you.
Steve?
So I want to thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I also want to say, no matter what your political beliefs are, always support your troops.
Yeah.
And have a good weekend.
Yep. I just want to say, if you're listening to us on social media, please comment, like, and share. We're still working on getting stuff on Facebook and getting our YouTube going. So please be patient with us with that. But it is going to happen. It is going to happen. So, and we also have the North Township golf outing, the Veterans Roundtable 4th Annual Golf Outing. It is Saturday, June 13th. And if you would like to sponsor a hole, they have different hole sponsors at levels. They have $100, $250, $500, and $1,000. So if you would like to sponsor a golf hole, you can call Kelly Bridges at 219-313-3934. Again, that number is 219-313-3924. Or you can go to Wicker Park, to the North Township Trustee's office, and sign up there.
Oh, that's where I got to get over there.
Yeah. I'm not a golfer, so I'll drive the golf cart and
Yeah.
pass out the beer.
Yeah.
But I can throw that ball better than I can hit it with a club.
Okay.
So I have never been a golfer.
I've dabbled a little.
Yeah.
I've dabbled a little.
Yeah.
You look like a golfer. I was going to say earlier when you were reading the contributors, you got a really good radio voice today. And you look clean. You cleaned up.
Wow.
Good.
Wow.
Am I not,
And he
am I
beat you-
not clean?
And
Like-
he beat you here today.
And you beat me. I mean,
He is-
Steve's got it all together.
He's got
now.
it all going on today.
Rocky, if you need a scramble partner, I can always step in,
Yeah.
as a producer of a veteran show. Maybe they would let me in.
Yeah. Do you know how to golf?
Yeah, me and Rocky are friends on 18 Birdies. Is a golf app.
Yeah, he's golfed way more than me this year.
I've been out there. So if you need me, I'll be ready.
We might have to have a
I'll be
Veterans
ready
View
to
crew.
represent veterans' views.
Yeah.
There you go.
All
Maybe
right.
we will do that. I'm down.
We'll give him a green beret and put him out there.
Yeah, and I'll just throw the ball.
There you go. All right, well, that's what we got for you all today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week, 0900 Friday.
Yep, we are on every Friday from
right.
0900 to 1000.
Award-winning show, Veterans Views.
All right, thank you for
Hoorah.
tuning in, and good night, Chesty, wherever you are.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.